Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill. Got another video for you today. And we're coming from the test server today. We have some massive changes that are on test now. As of today, we've got the Supercharge changes, so that the Supercharge damage pass against all Supercharges, which I'll touch on in a moment. First, I want to touch on the combat pets and trinkets and turrets. So there was some talk, if you remember my previous video, like a week ago or so, about my rant about the form changes and the pet tiers and stuff. That, unfortunately, the crybabies on the forums have won for now. The new changes to the pets were announced. There is no tier system. Basically, all the pets are balanced to do damage similar to each other. So I'll put it up on the screen here. So combat pets and trinkets have been approved and normalized. This opens up the way for introducing new systems for these pets in the future, i.e. that we're still going to push for tier changes, even though the crybabies don't want it. So basically just saying that in this change, the only pets that were affected were like Vampire Shadow, like all the bats, Gazer, the Brainiac Drone, the Father, Mother Box, Seahorse. So all the most recent pets that were affected. All the older pets didn't see any change at all, like the Boos didn't see any change at all, Summer Event Trinket, stuff like that. So, and then technically he's just mentioned that when Survival Mode comes out, the SM Trinkets will do more damage than SM for now. So let's hop over to the spreadsheet and tell you guys and show you guys what the actual changes were. So the actual changes. So live server, I went ahead. This is at CR 330. I tested all the pets that were going to change, plus some ones that were used to doing high damage, like the Boo Utility Belt, Summer Event Trinket, stuff like that. Robot Sidekicks in here, Grim pets on there. So this is basically a sense of what all the pets do damage-wise on the server right now. And this is what these pets are going to do afterwards. So I mean, you can see the total. I mean, technically Dark Contract Bat is the top, but I mean, you can see these totals here. So 563, 66, 67, 68, 68, 68, 69, 69. So between between all these pets here, Mother Box, Father Box, Shadow, Vampire, Seahorse, Gazer, this is a 1% difference. So it's basically exactly like 1.12% difference between all these pets. So basically you can choose any of these 8 pets and it can do the exact same damage. Now these are the turrets. So basically these are the single target turrets, Antimatter and Green Crystal, and Snake and Shadow Snake were just those AoE ones. Now in the changes, the Snake turrets are a lot faster now. Before they kind of summoned and kind of did like their little like skull wave back and forth, and there was like a 2 or 3 second delay between the actual attack. That's been changed now. The turrets are going to always be 8 hits. So these ones, as you can see, these are the percentage changes. So basically, Dark Contract Bat, since it was already powerful, saw a 10% increase. Brainiac Pet, because it was much weaker, saw 44. Seahorse was buffed 31%. Gazer was buffed 20. Father Box was buffed 32. Mother Box was buffed 42%. And this is on 3 targets. So basically, this is what it took to normalize everything. So at least everything saw a 10% increase. Dark Contract Bat saw the least, but I mean 9.86 is pretty much 10%. So basically, we're looking at a 10% increase in damage to the top 10 trinkets. So we're pretty much getting to the point where the Summer Event Trinket will be near useless because it's never going to be updated in terms of how these ones are going to be updated. And then, I mean, Boo Utility Belt obviously still wins, but I mean, that's using a specific utility belt just to do that. But everything else saw at least a 10% damage increase. Some saw much more. So now, really, for the time being, because this tier system is going to come out. Like the crybabies aren't going to win this one. The tier system is going to come out. Either next DLC or DLC after that, the tier system is coming. In terms of like free pets versus earned pets versus like rare trinket drops, stuff like that, like how the tier system is going to work is kind of up in the air, but it is going to come. The crybabies aren't going to win this one, but this is what basically you can expect now. Pretty much a coin flip. If you have any trinket, doesn't really matter what you use. Now they're basically just for style purposes because they're pretty much all going to do the same. So let's hop back. I mean, this was tested on 3 targets. I haven't tested single target yet. I will. And I'm going to update my whole list here with all the old ones. So that's going to become in a future video. I just want to cover exactly what changed on test server. So let's jump back and talk about the Supercharges. Okay, so the main change that's on test server right now is the Supercharge damage pass. Now, I'll put it up on the screen here, kind of like a brief overview. I'll also link it in the description because it's going to be way too much to talk about, just kind of a blurb about what's changing. But essentially, the concept of it is that the 10,000 supercharges, so anything that was like a 10,000 supercharge, like earthquake, stuff like that, was increased by approximately 250%. Or basically, no, sorry, that's the wrong way to look at it. So basically, the concept of what they were going for was that a 10,000 supercharge will be 250% stronger than a 5,000, and a 5,000 will be 250% stronger than a 2,500. So what that means is that the 2,500s will do like kind of really low, crappy damage. 5,000s will do like decent damage, and the 10,000s will do like the main damage, which you want to go for. Some abilities also saw some changes in terms of like freeze ray was incredibly buffed to like a single target supercharges. Infuriate with rage was now group buffed like how it used to be. Nature rampage saw a change. So there's a lot of minor changes that I'm going to cover in a video. This is basically just kind of giving you an introduction of what's on test. I'll be covering all the supercharges in an in-depth video in itself because that's going to be a whole crap load of work and spreadsheets. But that's essentially what it is here. So a lot of the supercharges have changed, some for the worse, some for the better. Some cooldowns have changed. So the issue was that, well, not really the issue, but I mean, it is an issue, but basically what happened was that all supercharges that are 2,500 have changed to 15. All the 5,000 ones have changed to 30, which impacts knee event boost primarily. That's 15 seconds less. And then all the 10,000 ones are 60 seconds. So that really, most of the 10,000 ones are already 60 seconds. So that doesn't really impact anything. And this is only impacting the damage supercharges. So like dash attack is still 30 seconds, even though it's a 2,500, because it's not a damage supercharge, where like bloom is 15 seconds, speed drain, gale, vacuum bubble, like the iconic movement modes. Clown box will be a 30-second one. So this is what's on test right now. Some have changed in there. So like, for example, you really have to check the forums. The link's going to be in the description in the comment section because it details what things happen. So say for example, for Earth. So meteor shower. Meteor shower was increased by 16%. Earthquake was increased by 8%. But in Tomb, the one that everyone's using, this was nerfed by 36% compared to what we see on live. So obviously that kind of tips the scale a bit in Earth, because basically now you're just spamming Entomb every 30 seconds, or even less if you're using Scrap, every 23.25 seconds on Scrap the Soul Cloak. So now you're spamming Entomb, but it's going to do 36% less damage. And same thing for like Electric. Circuit Breaker was nerfed, Berserk was nerfed. So there's a lot of changes, a lot of stuff to unpack. But the thing that's going to help us here is when you go to test server, you're going to see this item here. The Monitor Elixir of Power. It's going to be on one of the vendors. So it expires in 3 days. It just means that every 3 days you have to buy it. It's just so that it eventually will be deleted off test server. But this is going to help you because it refills your Supercharge. So this is just something that did to be able to help us test here. So we could do, you could drop a meteor shower. Then right away refresh the cooldown. Sorry, the first one was Entomb. This is meteor shower. And then right away, 3 seconds later, you could do earthquake. And then bloom. Speed drain. New venom boost. So it's certainly a really nice tool. So if you've access to the PC test server, if you're a PlayStation player, if you have like a laptop or a desktop computer, I would certainly recommend to download it because you get some valuable testing in. And even if you don't want to test and you just want to play around with the fact that you can use unlimited supercharge essentially, then it's going to be some fun. No doubt that there's going to be some fun to be had with this, just because we've never had like a dev trinket like this before. So while I understand that we do need some testing for supercharges, if you do want to take a free moment just to kind of mess around, blow off some steam, and spam Neovenoms and stuff like that, then now's your opportunity to do that on test server. So look forward to in-depth breakdown on the supercharges changes once those are out. I've got my light DPS guide coming out. I've got some other videos coming out, so the next kind of couple weeks is going to be very jam-packed here on this channel. So take care, guys. We'll see you in the next video.